Hello and welcome to The Bureau, a Liminal Horror actual play series hosted by Gehenna Gaming. My name is Josh Demansky and I'll be your guide for the next 8 weeks. If you'd like to see and hear more, both Liminal Horror and The Bureau can be found in physical form through Exalted Funeral and digitally on the Goblin Archives itch.io page. You can find me on Twitter at unenthuser, and the links will be below. Now, before I introduce our cast of players for tonight and the series going forward, a quick word of caution. This series explicitly deals with oppressive governmental systems, and as such, the most common theme throughout will be corruption, both in a literal and a figurative sense. On top of that, this is a horror adventure that we will be playing, so there will be themes of body horror, gore, helplessness, and any other general elements that will come with horror. This is dark. We're going to be serious here, so viewer discretion is advised. Now, with that out of the way, let's introduce our cast. At least for now, we will be having an additional player join next week. But the three of us here today, please tell us who you are, what you do, and where we can find you.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Brandy Rose at the Brandy Rose on Twitter, and at Brandy Rose Official on Instagram, and on Twitch. You'll recognize me as Cutest Patoot because I am the cutest Patoot. I didn't think about my branding until I realized that people would start calling me Patoot and didn't know that that meant butt. So, hi, everybody. I am a producer, I'm an actor, and really many-hatted person. So, you can always find me on the Twitter, and I'm very excited to be playing our really cool character. I'll leave the name out yet. I don't know if you guys want us to say the character name yet, but I'll wait.
Hi there, I am Megan McCauley. You can find me on all the socials also with a branding problem, still at Melee Damage. We're working out those URLs. I'll get there eventually. Also, wear many hats, do all the things, music, film, gaming, and the best way to stay up to date with all of that is to follow me on the very messed up URL link socials. I got this, y'all. And I will also wait to introduce the character until Brandy does, and we'll all in unison remove as a team.
Awesome. Hey everybody, I'm Randy Alvarenga. I am a TTRPG streamer, actor, gamer, also learning to program, so I'm just gonna throw that in because that's fun. And I am located here in the Seattle, Washington area. So if you're ever in this area, let me know. Message me on Twitter at Roller Raja. That's ROLLERRAJA. And the reason I say that is because I too had a branding problem and came up with that after the fact. So there you go.
We're all really killing it in the branding department as true professional actors.
Yep.
Okay. Now, into the Bureau. Our story begins, conveniently enough, the city of Seattle. At this time of year, it's starting to stretch into the fall. Summer's waning. There's still those days of unseasonable heat that are plaguing the Pacific Northwest. But the cooler weather is coming. Cold fronts sweeping in, and with it bringing the rain. Now, on this particular day, these characters who we'll meet in just a moment, they've either just arrived in the city, or maybe they've lived here their entire life. But the one thing that they've never noticed previously, but after they can't help staring at, is a building that resides downtown. And one would think that this would be more noticeable. It is a towering monolith of brutalist design, concrete stretching skyward, very few windows, if at all. And it's just this rock of concrete sitting in the middle of the city. Now, through the hustle and bustle, the slight drizzle coming down, you've entered this building. Now before you lies this echoing hall with polished stone floors. It stretches on for 100 feet before ending in a wooden desk perched at the far end. There's this big embossed seal lying right in the center, and as you walk across, your footsteps tap out of the concrete, echo, and fill the space. Now, as the three of you enter this building and take a look around, the one thing that's immediately noticeable is that you're not alone. Now, we can take a few minutes for each of you to introduce your characters and what the other characters would see. We can go in that same order that we did for introductions, please.
Yes. All right. So the character that I am playing today is Bire Santos. Uses she, they pronouns. I didn't mention it earlier. I use they, them pronouns. Bire is, I would say, about 5 feet even. Very small, petite, mildly athletic build. Very sharp features. Is also native, and because it's easiest, I've given her my haircut. So very similar features. Is dressed like the semblance of sharp, of the touch of respectability of I could walk into an office building, but I definitely don't work there. With some just jeans, striped fitted blouse, but still there's an air of something casual, and there's an air of something just slightly spacey about them. They're very easily lost in thought. They've got a little satchel, and they are probably just looking around very curiously. And that's Bire.
Very tall woman who looks like me. She's very slender, kind of built like a model almost, just tall and lanky. And she is wearing a black peacoat and very nice tailored pants with not heels, but very sensible shoes, but they still look like they're probably like Prada or something. They're just very, very glam and clean cut. This woman is. And she looks very focused, kind of looking around like she is looking for something.
Okay, can you give your character's name to us once more? You got a little cut off on my end.
Yulia Belsky is her name. My apologies.
All right. So often, if you enter just slightly off in the corner talking to himself, if you look really carefully, he's holding a small microphone that's connected to his smartphone. And if you listen very carefully, Xavier Cortez, who is this man, is muttering what sounds like, yesterday I received a package from someone claiming to work here with some information, something that would blow news outlets all over the country. I'm here trying to get that information, but the contact has disappeared. And something about this place is strange. He's got curly hair, wears a baseball cap, kind of looks like he's a small town time reporter, even though he has big aspirations. He's wearing a flannel shirt like this, very Pacific Northwest vibes. And you can tell there's an optimism in this guy, in the way that he sort of is trying to present himself. But he if you tried to talk to him, would sort of straighten up and try to act extremely professional, but a little bit young, a little bit naive, but yeah.
Okay. So like I said, as the three of you enter, you're in this echoing hall, polished stone, embossed floor, wooden desk, all the way at the end of the room. And you do see what looks to be a metal detector and a staircase behind it leading elsewhere. If we talk, cardinal directions for ease of reference, that doorway would be on the southwestern side of this room. The desk itself on the southern end. Now, the three of you have entered. You didn't see the others enter. And as you take in the space, the final thing you note, the revolving door with which you entered is no longer there. Just the smooth glass walls of windows staring outside into the streets. And you see, rain and cars and people passing by. What do you do?
Just whoever is closest to me. I'm probably like in the middle. Just clock that the door is gone, and just, I'm sorry. Does anybody else see? There's no door. Was there a door there?
Turning around from talking to himself, he sort of jumps up and he's like, "Yeah, I could have sworn I just walked through that door."
Oh,
the other side. There's a lot of, the metal detector kind of, it cuts off the view a little bit. Maybe.
So how is there another door, or?
I mean, there would have to be. Maybe I just got confused. No, that's strange.
I'm just gonna go up to the glass where the door was and just kind of look around a little nervously because I am touching glass with my bare fingers. But I'm just gonna kind of poke it just to see if maybe the door when it's closed is just seamless or something. Just gonna start pressing at the glass.
So you reach your hand out.
Yes. Why do I regret this immediately?
And touch the glass. And you feel the cold temperature kind of seeping in through the glass. It's real, it's there in front of you. Your fingerprints leave a nice smudge on it.
Oh. With my sleeve, just gonna get rid of that real quick.
Does it look?
I'm absolutely sure that is where the door was.
I thought so. I mean, the rest of the wall is smooth, so I don't know where else it would have been. I only just got it in here.
Sorry, your mic's getting cut off a little bit on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same.
Also walk around the area a little bit, not necessarily in that exact same spot, but just kind of tapping on the glass, other panes of glass, to see if maybe any of them budge or turn back into a door.
Yeah, and easy enough. You walk up and down, just pink, 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 every so often. Seems solid glass. Again, you continue to see movement beyond it. The cars and streets. The people on the other side don't pay you much mind, even though you're making noise.
And it looks like the street we walked in from.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Then, yeah. All right. This is, and he looks around for someone who works in this place.
And again, you put your head back and forth. The room's empty. There's that desk. There's the metal detector. The staircase you see beyond it. There's no one here. There's no other doors. There's just you.
I'm just gonna quick walk, that little polite quick walk where you're in public, so you can't run, but you are kind of you would be if you could be. I'm just gonna quick walk, and Bira is in kitten heels, so it's the tiny little click clack click clack. Gonna go up to the desk and I'm a little short, so I'm gonna kind of put my hands on it, lean up, and be hello. and like look and see if there's like a bell or something to ring or like a number to take or something on the desk.
Yeah. Okay, so as you walk up to the desk, like I said, it's a large, it's probably oak, a nice solid wood that's kind of a sit in the floor. It's not quite flush with the back wall, but it's pretty darn close. There's probably enough of a gap for somebody to kind of get in and out behind it. You do see a very comfortable office chair. It's got wheels sitting behind it. It's also a terminal. It's a book, like an open book that looks like a logbook or visitor's list. Looks to be a stack of visitor badges.
I walk over as Vire is looking at it, and I go, well, I mean, I guess we gotta find someone who works here. And he just picks up one of those visitor badges and pins it to himself. Oh, they're not gonna mind. We're visitors.
I mean, I guess, but aren't we supposed to sign in to get a badge?
So, Xavier, as you pick up the badge, you lift it up and you're about to pin it on your chest. You catch a familiar sight. And taking a moment to look at it, you see your face, your name, printed on plastic. You know, it's a standard visitor badge.
He drops it.
I need you to take 1 stress.
Okay.
Okay, and just
Amazing.
as a reminder, stress works in the same way as physical damage. What it does is it takes points from your hit protection, and you are able to recover those hit protection when you have a moment in a safe place to rest. So a few moments to catch your breath, but stress affects you in a similar way of damage.
Oh boy, you don't have that many of those points, Randy.
No, I do not. No, I do not.
And just make sure you're keeping track of whatever your original score is if you're altering the sheet.
Right. So, and this is just, so I just keep 1 stress die, which means 1 less for my HP, right?
For now, yeah, until you can recover it.
Okay, got it.
Oh boy. Are you okay?
Yeah, and then he picks it up very slowly and shows it, and he's like, this is me. But I just, there's no way they would have known I was coming. That makes no sense. What is this place?
When I look at it, what do I see?
So do you leaf through the, or sorry, you're looking at his
No,
visitor badge?
I
or are you
looked at
looking
his
the-
visitor badge. Like he's holding it up, so I'm like looking at it.
Yeah, it looks like Xavier. You know, it's probably a pretty unflattering picture. What has got his name? And it's got a bunch of like barcodes on it and some other like useless information to you guys at least. It is clearly marked visitor badge as well, so that's obvious.
Xavier, then is that your name?
Yeah, sorry. Xavier Cortez.
Vire
Writer for
Santos.
this,
Hi.
writer for the Seattle Tribune. It's a
Cool.
very small paper here in town. Yeah.
Cool. I write too. I'm an author. I'm an author. I don't write for the newspaper or something.
Oh, like what do you write? That's amazing. And he completely for a second forgets.
That's to be freaked out.
Yeah.
Oh, I write thrillers.
Oh.
Thriller comedies. It's kind of a niche. I'm hoping it picks up more.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
that's weird though. Let me I'm gonna like I need to do things properly, so I'm gonna like grab like a pen and I'm gonna like write my little name in the book. It's upside down, but I was like, I can't write upside down, so I'm just gonna like, I'm so sorry. Just and grab like a badge that like obviously I'm gonna assume is like I'm gonna think is blank, and I'm just gonna grab it and like I have my little marker ready to like write my information in where his information was, but like on my badge. So I'm gonna grab a badge.
Okay. Now, it is worth noting that the visitor log does have entries in it. It's not just a blank sheet.
Okay.
But you're able to kind of scribble your name upside down on it.
Mhm.
And you go to reach to pick up a badge, and as you stretch your hand out towards the sack, you see a familiar sight. It's your picture looking back up at you.
And I'm gonna pick it up and like look at like Xavier and like look back at Yulia also, because we're all in this weird thing now. And I'm gonna like pin it to my chest and point at it wordlessly.
In this case, since Xavier bit the bullet on the first one, I will not give you stress, but it is a weird situation. With that being said,
so sorry. 1 second. Somebody is at my door.
Okay, perfect timing. Okay, so while Bure and Xavier are messing around at the desk, what's Yulia doing?
Yulia is still looking out the window. You said that people weren't reacting when she was tapping earlier.
No.
She's gonna try while that conversation is happening. She's like half.
So sorry.
She's gonna tap a little louder to see if she can actually get the attention of anyone outside the window.
And a nice echoing like plunk as you tap a little bit louder. No response. And this is it's downtown. It's not like you're seeing Comic-Con crowds flowing by or anything like that. There's a steady stream of traffic. But no one pays you no mind. It is drizzling out, so people are kind of rushing to their destinations.
She will turn around at that point and just say, people are useless. And she'll walk towards the other two and go,
I grab Yulia's badge and I go, I think this might be for you.
It's very interesting. It's a terrible photo of me.
Yeah, they didn't really use. I don't even think this is my passport photo. I've never seen this photo before.
Yeah, this is a photo I don't remember ever taking.
Yeah, and it's nondescript. It's you guys, standing. It's a profile shot, but you're sitting with a white wall behind you, so there's nothing like descriptive in the location. You're looking face on into the camera. It's not like somebody quickly snapped a picture. But it's familiar, but it's not. It's familiar because it's you, but not because you recognize the picture.
Yulia will just pin hers on herself and just kind of shrug it off.
It's nice to meet you, Xavier.
Yulia, nice to meet you. And your name?
Bire. It's nice to meet you also. What are you guys here for?
I am looking for someone who contacted me. They said they had some information for me.
Right. Journalist, right? Yeah.
Personally have no idea what I am looking for, but I believe that I will know when I see it.
Yeah, me too. Here, but I don't hear anybody. Do you think maybe that they're on like break? Everyone?
I look at my phone's time. What time is it?
It is close to morning. We're talking like 9 a.m. It's what you expect. It's not like the time of like 3 hours passed when you thought you entered.
Okay. I go, okay. Someone should be here, and he starts looking. Maybe we should head down the hall. Maybe we'll find someone.
Sure. I mean, maybe we'll find like an exit or something too, because it's. I swear there was a door there. Like I swear.
They do say when one door closes, another door opens, but I'm not entirely certain what happened when one just disappears.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we find a window. We can't be that.
Well, I mean that's all windows, so I guess.
I mean, I'm not gonna break through the glass.
I know.
That sounds dangerous.
Well, if you wrap your t-shirt around several layers, you need at least like 3 or 4 if it's a thinner material. It should be okay. It is, however, frowned upon.
Yeah. I'd rather they not know I was here trying to get information on them, but
well, they
already know that I'm
badge
here, so I guess we trek on.
So down the hall it is. Just clutching my little satchel.
Okay. And shortly past the desk, it's on the, like I said, this one's on the western wall. It's it's a pretty elaborate metal detector system. Think of like what you would see at TSA. You probably got 2 lines with belts that feed through, and it's got those little tower detectors, little rectangular ones that kind of mark each side, creating 2 paths. There's probably little like barrier ropes separating into it. There is no one there.
Good.
Julia will walk through the ropes instead of the actual metal detector and kind of hold it open for the other 2. Who's going to yell at us?
I kind of like the way she thinks, and he sort of saunters up over.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm gonna like duck under also, and thank you.
Okay, and it's this place is abandoned. There's not much going on. The little conveyor belts that lead to like the little scanning equipment, those seem to be turned off. At least they're not in operation at the moment. There are varying effects kind of scattered throughout here. Scraps of paper, little like bags and whatnot. Stuff that seems to be left behind by people that were going through. It's probably a trash can full of stuff too. However, behind the detectors, there's a staircase. It leads up a short way before, in this case, hooking to what would be your left and continuing on. It's nondescript concrete. It's got those little like strips at the edge of the steps for a little bit of grip on it.
I'd like to grab one of the like little bits of paper that's like just laying there.
Okay. As you leaf around, I need you to roll a D100 for me, please.
First roll. Oh, Jesus. There we go. I got a 16.
16. Let me see what you got. So, as you're looking around, your eye catches something a little bit more discreet. It's a thick book. It's got one of those like standard governmental covers, like single-toned, very like terse text on it, and like it was punched on with a machine. It reads Conflict Resolution Manual.
Okay. I'm gonna pick that up and start like leafing through it. And I mean, it's pretty thick, so I guess you could resolve conflict one way or another.
As you pick it up, it feels a little lighter than you would expect. And when you flip open the cover, it's been hollowed out.
Oh.
Inside lies a snub-nosed revolver.
Oh! I dropped it.
Whoa.
That's a really good. I need to make a note of that. That's because for a thriller comedy, that's kind of perfect. And I'm just gonna like scribble that down really quickly while also being like kind of like shaky of like
I'm gonna pick it up. I'll bend down very carefully. I'm gonna grab it, and I'm gonna make sure that I hope like the safety was on, which is I'm good. I'm glad it was.
I did not think that far.
Yeah. Okay. Guess they are just.
Is that
hiding.
real?
Oh, I've seen a couple of guns in my life. This is real, all right.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's polished metal on the outside. It's not like glittering or anything like that, but it is well serviced. You can check to see the barrel, not barrel, the little round bit with bullets in it has bullets in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it conflict resolution. It'll do. It's very funny.
Very quick way to end. Also, Mr. Cortez, it's a very bad idea to touch a gun that is not yours. You do not know what it was used for last. This is how people end up in prison.
That is true. That is very true.
I mean, yeah, but no one's here, and
yet
it was hiding inside the book. We've already gone through the metal detectors.
I would still wipe it off, maybe.
Yeah.
With the outside of your shirt, not the inside.
Oh, right. Okay.
Although DNA traces, I mean, just from walking down here, our DNA is all over the place. So luckily, it's not terribly reliable, but it is better to wipe it and have DNA all over the place than to have fingerprints. It's a little harder to dispute fingerprints.
Okay. So
Um,
I start to put it back on the table. I want to sneak it and see if I can like put it away.
Put it where it was.
Okay. There's no need to make a roll for this or anything like that. There's a better question. Do Yulia or Bire see Xavier sneak the pistol?
do we roll for that?
Just tell me.
I don't think Bire does.
Yeah, and Yulia doesn't either. She's actually gonna look at some of the other things. There were bags around the room. She will look for the fanciest looking one and to go through it.
They're like a lot of drawstring bags and discarded things. There's only a couple of them. There's probably a backpack, at least one of them, kind of sitting down there. Maybe that was owned by one of the people who were guarding the metal detector. Nothing is there's no like coach or anything here. Is that a good brand?
She'll go for the backpack and she'll be like, I don't know who these people are, but please something other than khaki. And she'll open the bag and kind of check out the content.
Okay, how about you roll a D100 for me, please? See what you find.
36.
36. The bag is mostly empty. There's a couple of pens, maybe a notebook in there, blank. Curiously enough, it's a handheld camcorder. Kind of like one of those classic 90s ones that has actual like physical tape in there. It's pretty good shape, all things considered. It's got the little like flip out side do for viewing the video that you have recorded.
Wow.
And see if there's anything like previously recorded on the video camera.
So you wind through. It's only a few minutes on this camcorder.
Oh boy.
There's a room, a table, and a chair. You hear a voice talking off screen, and the individual sitting looks up. Yulia, you see your face. Staring up, not into the camera, but looking up. The questions they're asking don't make any sense. You know, even if this was an interrogation, they're weird. They're like, what is the color of an ant? How many clouds were there last Thursday? Just nonsense questions. But camera Yulia is answering them. And you have no memory. Sorry, I think I clipped for a second. You have no memory of this interaction. I do need you to take one stress.
Yulia just, instead of dropping it, actually just starts to like pull it even closer to her face, like out of disbelief, like almost like if she looks hard enough, that will not look like her, but that is not happening.
Yeah, I mean, the camera is, like I said, this is 90s tech. The screen is small. Looks like you, but maybe it's not.
Do any of you remember this? Because I have no recollection of this whatsoever.
I'm gonna lean up probably because you are quite a bit taller than I am. I'm gonna lean up and be like, I mean, I've never seen you before. So, no.
Yeah. And he just pulls out his microphone again and he goes, "They're asking really weird questions in this video." Yeah. I've never seen it, but
What about the room? Does it look like a familiar place to either of you? I don't know. Like, we all have badges. Perhaps this is something that happened to all of us.
Oh,
I, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
remember.
it's an interrogation chamber, like that type of aesthetic. You see, concrete block walls, a gray table, and it's one of those like blue plastic chairs. You can kind of just see like the feet of it underneath the table, but not really the chair itself. Um,
I lean against one of the desks. If someone were asking me those questions, I'm sure I'd remember it. No, I've never been here before.
I've never been interrogated before, so I mean,
Usually
I'm
it's
just
me doing the interrogating.
I don't even do that.
This is all very strange. And Yulia will actually keep the camcorder. She'll close it and stick it in one of her pockets.
okay, you can add that to your inventory sheet in one of the available slots. Randy, go ahead and add that revolver to your character's inventory as well, please. And both of those take up a single slot.
I really love the irony that I haven't taken any stress, but I am visibly the most stressed out character that we have.
We have time for that.
Great.
Okay, so you guys are sitting there. You have you've opened a book, you found a gun. You've opened a backpack, you found a recording that you don't remember. And the staircase awaits. You can mess around some more with this metal detector set up here. What do you guys do?
Maybe we should keep going.
Yeah, I mean, as big as this room is, there's got to be someone here, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the building, something there has to be like a fire escape or something, because it's the mandated regulation. So there should be one.
All right.
Okay. So pushing on up the stairs. And again, these are concrete steps. It's silent here. You hear nothing but your footsteps as they echo through the hallways. Or the staircase, After a moment, like I said, it's a bit of a jog up, left, and then up a decent chunk of stairs leading to an additional level. You do come through another doorway. This opens up into a room. It's not quite as large as the lobby you guys were in previously. This is a little bit more like human space, probably 12-foot ceilings, nothing super crazy. It's an open floor plan, a series of identical desks. There are those crappy like metal ones that you see in media, but there are like personal effects kind of scattered on them. They're not 100% identical in that manner. There are a couple of glass-walled offices off to like the sides, spread along the walls. You do see, as you look around, there is a doorway that leads out on what would be the eastern side of the room. However, again, this room is eerily silent. Like I said, there's rows of these desks and not a soul present at them. But they are in disarray. As if somebody had just left. Papers scattered, chairs pushed back, maybe a couple of things knocked over and never picked up again.
What do you think could have happened that all of these people left in such a hurry?
Maybe there was a fire alarm?
An alarm? Yes, because I don't see or smell any actual fire. But usually alarms, people come right back. Like, what do they call it?
Drill, yeah. Maybe part of their drill is that they have to do head counts. And I mean, it's a big building. So maybe we just missed them. So they didn't do a real alarm. So we didn't hear it. And then they'll come back any second. I'm going to go to, you said there are windows, right?
Not in this room.
Oh, not in this room. No windows. Oh, well. Gee, it's gloomy
in
here.
It's fairly dim in here too. There seems to be more emergency lighting kind of lit up the space. It's enough to see, but it's not like the lumens one would expect from a operating office.
Oh, maybe they had a power outage, and this is like maybe that's the drill. Maybe they have like the backup on, or something. Hello?
Something is disheveled. They probably couldn't see to get out.
Oh.
Or maybe it's not a drill. maybe maybe they're like gathered in a room farther in, or maybe there's something that they're waiting on, or maybe they're waiting for someone higher up to give them the all clear, right? It's a government office. Maybe they
Is
have
it?
the signs and everything seem government like.
I guess.
Regardless, someone's here because the lights are on, things are going.
Is there like a coffee anywhere?
Ooh.
Like, does
Oh, sure.
anybody have a
So,
coffee on a desk?
There are probably coffee cups at least on one desk, but you do see, like in the back room, along what would be the southern wall of this room, there's a little like break area, and it's not like a break room proper. It's like a countertop that has a sink, a coffee machine, and a refrigerator sitting next to it, and that's all kind of like there. But scattered on the desks, like I said, there's effects that you would find in an office: picture
So,
frames, coffee
If
mugs.
there's a mug that has coffee in it, I'm gonna like touch the mug, like the side of it, to check the temperature.
Room temp.
Room temp? Oh well, that's gross. This is like cold. I mean, it's not like cold, but it's cold coffee. It's room temperature coffee. It hasn't been hot in a while.
Okay.
So they've probably been gone for quite a while.
All right.
Smells like bad office coffee.
You see him starting to get this glint in his eye. There's a story here if he's ever seen one. And he is now all in. Like, he is all right.
Oh no.
Just hear me out, all right? Coffee, right? It may be cold. They could be just like beyond this room. We just gotta find them. They're here somewhere.
Oh boy. You're very excited about this.
Yes, I mean, look at this. Something's going on here, and no one's talking about it yet, which means we can talk about it. Get that? This is a story that, hey, look, maybe you write a book, I put out an article.
I think the difference between you and me is you like being in your stories. I would give anything to not be in one of mine.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
So
Look.
maybe we just keep going. Maybe I'm gonna the desk that had the coffee on it, I'm just gonna like kind of like scan it and see if anything like pops out at me. Do you need another roll?
No, not in this case.
Oh boy.
You don't
as
see him
better.
you hanging in the cup.
Stop waving.
As you take a look around, a couple documents sitting out, and there's probably like a laptop here that's like pushed up. The screen is dark, but the desk is fairly neat and orderly. You see a stack of documents. You see one of those little like intake outtake type mail setups there. Laptop, mouse. You can pull open the drawer, find a bunch of paper, or not papers, like stationery, sticky notes, pens, so on and so forth.
Well, there's nothing really weird here, so I think we should keep going. At the very least, we should go somewhere that has a window maybe or something, because this is a bit... I mean, this doesn't help us.
There are photos in here as well. Were they like... or like inspirational posters? Like what was the type of photo?
So there are personal like photos on the desks, and you can kind of look through, and not everyone has them. It's just varying about any of the desks, and they're unfamiliar people, families presumably, kids, loved ones, fun moments.
Do any of these people look familiar to any of you in any way? They look very happy, almost like postcard.
I had never heard of this place, and I've lived here my whole life, until I got that phone call. And then I came downtown, and there it was, this building that somehow I had overlooked. Regardless, and he pulls out his phone and starts taking pictures of the dishevelment. And he goes, I don't know anyone here, but this is going to make a great story.
That is actually a very good idea. And Yulia will pull out the camcorder and do a quick scan and go. In case you need behind-scene footage for social media or something. Probably easier to use on phone, but my phone is very full of selfies, so not a lot of room left.
Okay, yeah, easy enough. You can pull it out. It operates. It has battery power. Again, you hear the whir of the videotape as it starts recording. You scan the room.
I should look at the viewfinder. Does anything like stand out in the camcorder like view that doesn't necessarily pop out to like the naked eye?
Nope, looks normal. As normal as it could be, at least.
I suppose we should find a window then, because so far no more doors.
I like very briskly head to the next room.
I'm following extremely quickly, and I am struck by the realization that I left my phone at home.
Lovely. Okay, so hurrying past these desks, pushing the seats aside and kind of wandering out. Like I said, there's that doorway that clearly leads out, and it breaks into a hallway. You see, gray walls. There's some wood paneling that comes up to like a waist height that kind of like stretches along the walls. There is burgundy carpeting that is clean, but it's like 30 years out of date. And the hallway's dark. Not pitch black by any means. You see stretched along the hall as you kind of like look up and down it. There are emergency lights sort of intermittently placed, casting like sulfurous yellow light down, and it's getting nice little like halos of light on the ground, but all it's really doing is making the shadows stretch long for the various effects that are in the hallway. The hallway itself dressed up. You see generic pictures on the walls. You see fake potted plants kind of scattered out. What someone would imagine to be tasteful levels. Now this hallway does stretch before you a few paces before it breaks off, forking left and right, in this case north and south. Each of the directions is fairly nondescript, though you do note that the southern branch seems to head down a set of stairs after a short little jaunt, while the northern stretch kind of continues on forward, and you can kind of see down at the far end some more emergency lights are kind of shining down to the point where you see the hallway kind of turns and heads elsewhere.
Which way we want to go?
In mazes, they always say to keep going left, right? You keep taking one turn.
Couldn't hurt. Wherever we're going, looks like we get this very dramatic lighting. So,
Oof. I'm starting to understand why the photos for the badges here look so horrible. This is really harsh.
Check out this carpet. It looks like bad choice in whatever this was. I do not agree. Does anyone notice any security cameras anywhere? For a government building, I feel like perhaps there should be some sort of
Yeah, the security is pretty lax. I mean, they did leave that gun just out. You'd think if somebody saw it and obviously stopped someone from having it in here that they would put it somewhere and certainly not leave it loaded.
I would at least have a guard at the front door.
The front door that doesn't exist anymore.
Touche.
That being said, if you do happen to see one around here, please point it out to me.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
And as of so far, you haven't seen any of those little like domes that you would expect. Nothing, fairly nondescript walls and ceilings.
This is so weird.
Heading left, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the hallway left, like I said, this one stretches a little bit further. You're more on a straight hallway as opposed to the stairway now behind you. As you make your way down, the hallway itself sort of jogs right. So you're walking straight, what would be in the northern direction, and it heads off into the east as you approach. Now, quickly turning down the hallway, you see It continues to stretch further down. There appears to be a door all the way at the far end. And again, we're looking at dark hallways, emergency lights intermittently spaced. But you see, again, on each side of the hallway, there are doors, also kind of intermittently spaced. Looking down the hallway, on your left, there are 3 doors. What appears to be another staircase that heads out, and that's all the way down at the end of the hall. And on your right, there are 2 doors, one a little bit closer to you, one quite a bit distance down the hall, probably the last door before the end of the hallway itself. Now, immediately to your left, like as you turn that corner, you do see 2 doorways. These are the most closest doors to you at the moment, but there is another one, like I said, on the right, a little ways down. And as you walk up, very clearly printed on the doors of those ones closest to you, meeting room 1, meeting room 2. Meeting room 1 being the one on the left, meeting room 2 being the one on the right.
Do they have windows into the room, or it's just like solid wood?
They're wooden doors. They've got those little like L-shaped handles you can kind of push up and down. These ones don't seem to have windows. They are spaced. They're probably like 15 feet apart. One would imagine there's room between them for the rooms.
I put my ear against the door to see if anyone's in there talking.
Which door do you pick?
Room 1.
Meeting room 1. Okay, that is the one that's on the left-hand side. If you guys are facing it.
Yeah.
As you put your ear to the door, you hear nothing.
Is
Oh.
it?
Say again?
Is the door locked?
And
You check?
I check.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix my camera. That's not focusing. All right, whatever. You reach out. Grab the handle. Push it down, and seems to be unlocked.
Yeah. And I couldn't hear anything on the inside, so
Well, we should check. I mean, if everybody's waiting somewhere, then like maybe they're in there or in the other meeting room. So we should just knock and check.
Okay. Yeah.
So you knock first?
I knock first.
All right, so pop, 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 pop. Few
Hello?
minutes. Nothing.
Are there any papers or anything on the desks?
Oh, so do you open? Have you opened it yet, or are you just...
I'm gonna open it.
Okay.
If no one responds.
So you push the door open. Now, it's a dark room, but light does flood out from beyond. It's not like a torrent of light. It's more light than you guys are currently having. What you see as you open the door, it's a large oak table, surrounded by presumably uncomfortable office chairs. There's a projector embedded into the ceiling, casting a slideshow onto a screen, set up against one of the walls. And as you see it, and there's more going on here, but the slides are just, you hear the click, click, click softly coming from the slide, or the projector, and it's showing fairly mundane objects. However, you're not alone. There are a dozen people here, standing, in front of their chairs, all standing up straight. They all are wearing, varying degrees of office wear, not quite suits type of office wear, but nice stuff, like pressed shirts, slacks, shoes, ties, and so on. All 12 of them, their eyes locked on the screen.
Sorry. I knocked first. Didn't know there were any people in here.
I'm gonna squish in next to you, like a cartoon character, like just leaning up. Wait, how tall are you?
I'm pretty short. I'm like 5'8", 5'9".
You're like 8 inches taller than me. Anyway, I'm on
really
my tippy
5'7",
toes.
and I feel like 5'8" is tall for me. But like a lot of people are like, it's short. So I don't know. I'm short.
I'm 5'2". So Anyway, Beauty is gonna be like on her like tippy toes, kind of like just like gently onto your shoulder, like looking over, like, excuse us, sorry, there was no security or whatever, so.
Do we complete the full Scooby-Doo with Yulia looking in as well?
Yes, but she opens her camcorder first. And
Nice.
Oh, lovely. Okay. Well, Yulia's flicked out. You've got the camera recorder going. As you guys speak, you get no response. All 12 of them still staring at that screen.
And it's just like mundane things like...
Yeah. You look at it, and it flips. Picture of a plastic pink flamingo. After a second, another... A pencil. Coffee mug. Rubik's Cube.
Okay. What are you guys watching? Hello? And he slowly tries to get up a little bit closer.
Okay.
And he...
As you approach,
Yeah.
you get closer and closer. They don't respond. They don't look. They don't acknowledge your existence. They don't blink. All 12 staring at that screen.
Oh man. This is odd. There, and he turns back to the three. Are you guys clocking this?
And like Peter is like torn between what would my protagonist do and why on earth would I want to do what my protagonist does. But it's just okay. Well, maybe they're just really focused and is gonna go to the projector and turn it off.
Projector's embedded into the ceiling.
Oh, it's not like a floor one. Does anybody have a clicker?
Yeah, you could crawl on the table and get up and like press the buttons. It's like a one you'd find in a school or something like that. It's not terribly like the most complex thing in the world.
Oh, I still went to school with like overhead projectors that you like rolled in. So but yeah, I guess if nobody reacts to, if I can't see a clicker or somebody holding the clicker, then I would tentatively get on the desk, and if nobody reacts to that, then I'm gonna push the button.
Okay. Now, there are a dozen people surrounding this table.
Oh.
Do you? How do you get up on the desk? Or like it's a long like oval table. You push through the people. Do you try and find?
Yeah, I just kind of like tapped and was like, "Excuse me." And then if nobody like has reacted to that, then I got on the table.
So you tap them?
Yeah. Just like, excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me.
This beer goes up.
Oh boy.
You reach out. You gently tap one of these people staring at the screen. Once your skin makes contact with them, the arm, shoulder, what have you, all 12 fall to the ground.
What did you do?
Oh, you blanked out your mic.
Oh God, I didn't do anything. I tapped on the shoulder, and then I was gonna say excuse me, and oh my God, are they breathing?
I go over to check their bodies.
Yeah, I need all of you first to make control saves for me, please.
Oh.
In this case, we are rolling d20 looking equal or under your current control score.
Okay.
Yes, I made it. I got a 5, and my
Lovely.
control score is a 13.
Perfect. Okay.
I did not. I have a really high control too. I did not. I got an 18.
Dang.
I'm sorry, Yulia, what was that?
I got an 18, not under my 16.
All right. How about Yulia? What did Yulia end up with?
I rolled a 6. My control is 12.
Lovely. Okay. So Yulia and Bire are able to kind of steel yourself against it. It's still freaky. Still like something that is disturbing to see. However, it hits Xavier a little harder. You are going to take a point of stress.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is stressful.
It is stressful. I mean, you're the one checking the bodies.
Yeah, like...
Okay. So, in that moment, scream. Xavier runs up to the bodies. You said you're checking them.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I do the looking for a pulse thing that they do in every movie.
You are unable to find one.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
What?
I think they're dead. He checks another.
No.
Same thing. No pulse.
No.
Oh,
No. Absolutely not. Okay. No.
Here's
No.
the
I
think I've ever seen anyone do, but it is fairly impressive. You brush up against someone, kill 12 people. I applaud you.
I didn't. I swear. I know, they can't be dead. I know dead people. I have researched enough. I know dead people. You do not just all pass out. And I'm gonna start checking them for like rigor, whatever, and all of the things that BA would know that I do not. Because I specifically don't write about dead people. But like is gonna start like checking, like just lifting their like pupils and like and checking their checking their clothes for bodily fluids for like from dying. Just gonna check everything. Just
all
like you can't be dead.
Yeah, all signs point to recent death.
I am leaning against the back of the like meeting room wall. Like I am like slid down, like sitting on the floor for a second.
Yeah, and this room is dark. There's that projector that's the only thing casting light. It's still filtering through mundane objects. Okay, so as Bure is freaking out, Xavier is like leaning against a wall, sliding against it. Yulia still filming away. What are you doing?
Staring at this slideshow, like intently. Like she seems to be moving closer to it. First, she goes from looking at the screen and kind of watching it through the screen, and you see like she just slowly starts to lower the camera and moves closer to what is happening on the screen. And she says to the others without breaking eye contact with it, This reminds me of something, but it's like when you are looking for a word, but you can't find it and it's right on the tip of your tongue. It's kind of what it feels like. So I'm not sure what it is, but very, very familiar? Not very, kind of? Mostly
Yeah.
gut feeling.
And as you look, Yulia seems to be right. These objects are familiar to you. Not in a personal sense, but in a general sense. You see, as it continues to flip through, a letter opener. A Zippo lighter, one of those good ones. Pad of sticky notes. A piggy bank. A trucker hat. And so on. Not things that you're, like I said, personally familiar with. Things you were able to instantly identify, though.
What are we doing? What are we doing? You guys have phones. Call an ambulance.
Right. I pull out my phone to dial 911.
Because I definitely didn't kill them. I mean, I touched you and you didn't die.
I'm not
Touching.
quite sure how they're going to get in the building, dear. Don't forget we don't have a door.
Oh, but it's 911. They can break the glass.
He puts his phone down and he goes, I don't know what the address to this building is.
Well, that doesn't matter. They ask you questions when you call. They ask you questions. They'll figure it out. You know the street that we're on is a big glass building on the street. It has no front door.
I can't really think of what was around this building. Like it's like I knew how to walk here this morning, but I can't quite place exactly where it is.
Who cares? Call.
Oh, okay. I'll let you talk. And he
Okay,
hands the phone
fine.
over to her. What is she doing?
And I'm gonna dial 911.
Okay. And here, takes the phone. Beep, boop, boop. You hit the send button. And you hear that bump, bump, bump. Busy signal resonating through the phone. Now you look at the top full bars. You got 5G. If you're fancy.
How can 911 be busy? That doesn't happen. And I'm gonna hang up and call again.
Call again, same thing.
It can't be busy. It's a call center.
Oh, okay. Give me the phone back, please.
Fine.
We just gotta find an exit.
So do we just leave 12 dead bodies in here?
I mean, what else do we do?
Something in my gut tells me that is the correct answer. Leave them where you found them.
That's true. We definitely shouldn't move them. And in case somebody isn't dead, sometimes when people have injuries, if you move them, it makes it worse. So, I guess we just we leave.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, maybe the next meeting room.
He does take a picture as they're leaving, though.
Oh God.
Okay, easy enough. Your phone still works as it would normally. Click. Picture is yours. Now, as we exit this room, this is a good time to take a quick 5-minute break.
Are you enjoying the Bureau? Well, you can show off your allegiance to the Monolith with exclusive merchandise, including short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, hoodies, and more. All proceeds from sales go directly to funding production and the cast and crew of the Bureau. You can check out our special bonfire shop in the description below. Consider donating to the Help Brandy Get to Safety Fund in order to assist with our player and friend Brandy Rose's moving costs as they make a necessary move from the United States back to their home of Germany. Brandy is a great person, friend, streamer, and producer. Let's show that we can come together as a community. Anyone who donates at least $10 to the fund, send me a screenshot of your donation and your name and you'll get a special shout out during the show. You can find the link to the GoFundMe in the description below. If you are enjoying the programming of the Bureau, you can find the system Liminal Horror and its module The Bureau at goblinarchives.itch.io/liminal-horror. The link is in the description below. If you're enjoying this program today, consider subscribing to Gehenna Gaming to get up to date with all our latest actual play series.
Okay, coming back from our break, you guys were just leaving meeting room 1. Now, as you cross back through that threshold, you find yourself again in that just nondescript corridor, that hallway. Burgundy carpeting, gray walls, wood paneling, doors dotting the left and right side. Again, the nearest to you is meeting room 2, or you can push deeper into this hallway to find what else may lie within. So what do you guys do?
I rush into meeting room 2 immediately because I'm like, maybe somebody in there can help
Okay.
the other people.
So a quick, running
Just
from the door, you just jam on the handle, push in. Okay. Now, meeting room 2. This room is dark, like pitch black. So as you quick push in, even the emergency lights aren't quite like pushing light into here. You're only seeing a little bit of like an angled bit. The room itself, just black.
Hello?
No windows, no projector, no noise. So when you yell out hello, no response.
Is anybody in here?
The darkness does not speak back in this case.
I'm gonna put a toe in the room, just 1 foot, just I don't know, testing it. A little nervous.
As you tiptoe forward with your toe, push it in. You feel the carpet beneath your feet. Nothing happens.
Okay. Whew. I'm just gonna turn back. Still got the foot in there, and turn back and be like, I always have this irrational fear when something's really dark that there's no floor for some reason. And of all places, this felt like the place where that might actually happen now, but it's fine. I think it's empty. Nobody's in here, I think.
I shine my camera flashlight in the room.
How do you go about it? Just a quick flash?
A slow pan.
Okay. So you flash in.
I'm looking more specific, like everywhere, like from one side to the other, but definitely want to see if there's paperwork on the table. Because there's something weird going on here.
Now, as you shine your light into the room, initially it looks very similar to the room you were in previously. An oval table surrounded by office chairs. So this table's different. Sundered, smashed, crater inward. And a body lies at that broken point.
This one's not your fault. He turns around and... No. I don't think the last one was your fault either. Hear me out. They weren't blinking in the room before, right?
Right.
When you tapped one very softly, I might add, they all fell out. You didn't touch all of them.
No.
I don't know what it means, but
Do you think they were already dead?
maybe.
So dead, just get up and walk now. That's what you're saying. This is a very interesting newspaper you write for. Let me guess. It is sold in tabloids at grocery stores right as you are trying to leave. Right
No,
there. Of the gun.
It's not. My newspaper is not the most popular, but the people who are fans of it are huge fans. And whatever's going on here, I'm going to figure it out, and people are going to know about it. That's the most important thing.
All right. Well, if you two have these covered, I'm going to check that room across the hall. I think you have one light on your camera. I'll take this one and go see if there are more random dead bodies lying around.
Oh, God. Oh.
Okay. So as Julia heads off, and we will deal with that room in a moment. B-Ray and Xavier, do you guys stay in this room? Do you follow behind?
Are there any papers strewn about the room?
No. So you kind of look around. You don't see papers. How close do you get to the body?
I'm not going that close to the body.
But as you look around, you see nothing. Presumably, as you turn to leave, the shadow seems to catch a little interesting in this room. Well, it's not quite bouncing off the ceiling like you would expect, given the light of your camera.
Yeah, I'm not getting close to that.
Do I see that also?
It's like you're not. It's hard to explain what I mean here. You're not quite seeing something as you're just shifting it around the room, and it seems to be like shadows clinging to the ceiling in a little bit more, I don't know, dark way than you would expect.
Yeah, more than usual. Like,
yeah, so you're not getting the reflection of the light off the surfaces that you would expect.
Nope. I'm like grabbing like Xavier by the arm and like yanking backwards. Nope. Pulling the door shut. Nope.
What?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Let's stick with her. She seems like
someone who knows how to get things done.
I was gonna say my protagonist, so I think we should stick with her.
Right.
Yeah, and Yulia is like down the hall at this point. It's so there's the door on the far side of the hall. It's a little askew, so it's not directly, directly across from you. It would be on the southern end if we're talking cardinal directions in this case. But so pushing forward down the hall, Yulia, you see another pretty nondescript door. It's wooden. It's got a little L handle. This one's got supply room written on it.
She will approach the door and kind of bend the handle down a little bit and just like open it a crack to see if anything like comes out or tries to attack her.
Okay. So again, you reach for that handle. Crack the door.
Can I go up like behind her and go, you seem pretty afraid for someone who thinks that it's just dead, but it's just Walking Dead.
I immediately kick the door wide open. Be cautious sometimes.
Okay, and you kick the door. It's just like a clap bang as that smacks against like the frame on the far side, and it's just like this noise just echoes through the hallway. And The room is dark beyond. No
Uh,
monster closet. Nothing jumps out at you as you kick that door, though.
I shine my my camera light in there to see if there's anything like on the shelves or mop and broom. What's going on there?
Sure. Now you see shelves. Now this is stationery primarily, like office supplies, stuff like that. However, the shelving unit they were probably once really niche. Now they're not. It's in utter disarray. You know, cabinets tossed over, paperwork just like all over the ground, boxes of pens spilled everywhere. A dark trail on the floor streaking away.
It's are you all anyone else seeing that?
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Where does the streak lead? Yulia's gonna follow it with her camera.
Okay, so it's dark, crimson in nature. This is probably like linoleum floors. It's not that burgundy carpet that you guys had seen previously. The streak itself, like, coalesces. It's not like it's. This is kind of. Let me think of how to explain this. The way it looks is if something was dragged and left there for a moment, but is no longer present. So it's that like streak in the floor that you can see, and like a small pool of liquid here, then nothing. But you can follow that streak back, and it kind of like ducks around what would be some of the fallen shelving units.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna follow it as far as she can.
Okay.
Wait.
Now-
Are you sure?
I mean, look, you two are very capable. If and you have a gun now, so if anything tries to get me,
You have a what?
I may have took the
somebody
gun
grab
from
it?
earlier, but
You did
look,
grab it. I knew I had hope in you. It was just a shot in the dark. I wanted to see if it was what you did. But you're a smart cookie. I like you. And I boop him on the nose.
yeah, I'm kind of glad I did now.
This cannot be real. This is a dream. This is a dream. You are like the little you are like the trigger event person, and you are my protagonist, and I am dreaming, and this is not real. This is not happening. This is not happening.
You're saying I'm the one who causes whatever horror you have written? That's
no,
ridiculous.
you're like the trigger character that brings us into the point of view. You're like the person that guides the audience to the protagonist,
Nope.
which is her, obviously. Excellent protagonist. I didn't know my subconscious was capable of this kind of thing. It's kind of amazing.
I will,
Way cooler than who I usually write.
I will boop her as well and go, you are very real. And I have never protagonized anyone.
I don't think that word means what you think it means. It means main character. You're the main character in what I would be writing in like a thriller comedy. That was real. That felt real.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you sure you want to check that corner?
No, I'm not entirely certain that I should, but something inside of me feels like I have to.
Well, you should follow that instinct. I guess that's how the stories go.
I've got your back. And he sort of turns very slowly towards the door to be careful to see if anything comes that way.
I'm gonna pull my baton out of my bag and like thwack it so that it's like out and like full sized. I'm just gonna hold it. What? It's a self defense thing.
Yeah. Both terrifying.
So you push into the back of the room, following that streak. Oh, again, skirting around fallen shelves, scattered paper, supplies, just all in disarray. You find yourself at the back of the room. Now, the supply room, this seems to be sort of like one of those emergency response stations. You see a little like pole shower, a little like eye station that's kind of back there. The streak heads in this direction. And it ends, or begins, I should say, right in front of storage locker. Black. Embedded, like embedded into the wall, but bolted to the wall. Like I said, that streak carries forward, and then there's a pool right ahead of, like, right at the foot of that storage locker.
I checked to see if that storage locker has a lock on it, or if it's open.
Oh yeah, this one is locked. However, as you look into it, the front of this locker is just dented and scratched to hell. But it has one of those like round spin locks on it, and it's clasped shut around the loop.
Does anybody possess any lock-picking skills past life of crime, perhaps, that may...
I have bolt cutters. And, like, pulls them out of the satchel.
Perfect.
You learn a lot of things, and my mom always carried them with her, and they're not that weird to carry around with you, because you don't know when you might need to get out of somewhere. It's not weird.
It is very weird, but I accept you for who you are in your heart.
He does that nod where he's just like...
I'm gonna hand the bolt cutters to yeah.
Yeah, I'll use them.
Okay, easy enough. You guys have the right tools, so it's just like click, and you feel the lock kind of snap, and it falls and clatters to the floor.
I look back at B-Ray and I go, "Don't worry. If a dead body falls out of this, that time it's my fault. So you're free. Your conscience is clear." And I'll open the door.
Okay. You reach and grab and like do the little last spin. Again, this is like very much not oiled, so the metal on metal kind of screeches. You get that as you open the door and look inside, and then the light of the cameras, you see some supplies. Now, there's a few things in here. First is a tactical shotgun with a box of a dozen shells, just kind of like set up next to it. Also spaced in this locker is what looks like a combat vest. So like, extensively a bulletproof vest, just the vest portion itself. And you see a little like small med kit kind of tucked away in there.
It looks like there are some very useful things in here. Do any of you have any interest in perhaps another firearm, a vest, and the shells to go with said firearm? Oh, and also looks like a first aid kit of some sort.
We should take the first aid kit probably.
Probably
I can put that in my bag.
I mean, we should probably take the shotgun. I'm not gonna lie.
You already have a gun.
No, I'm not saying I need the shotgun. I'm saying we probably.
I trust Yulia with the shotgun.
Are you sure you don't need something to protect yourself?
Well, I have my baton.
Why don't you take the combat gear?
Combat gear? What is the? And I'm like looking over, and I'm like, oh, that's a bulletproof vest.
The vest.
Yeah. It keeps people safe.
Oh, okay. Oh boy, they're very heavy, and I'm very small. So, I guess I'll take the vest. I'll grab the med kit and open it and see like what's if it's even worth like lugging around, or if I should just take stuff out of it.
It's a basic array of supplies: gauze, disinfectant, maybe some thread for closing wounds.
Yeah, we should probably keep this. I realize, if there's dead bodies here, which there are, and there's no way out, then whatever killed them, or whoever, of course, whoever, not whatever, whoever killed them is probably still here.
You are very logical with that assumption, Yulia says as she cracks open the gun, like very smoothly and like without even looking, starts shells into it, kind of cocks it back up and goes, I will put this here for safekeeping. She's like, puts it around her back. Perhaps we should move in formation. Of sorts. To that way, nothing can surprise us. Maybe back to back. I'm just throwing things out because that is very disturbing.
Right.
to think.
Right. Maybe a triangular sort of situation. Guns at the flanks is
You guys
probably
watch a lot of
smart.
movies.
Well, I have to research a lot, for work.
Oh yeah.
How I learned English.
Yeah, it's excellent, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So
And
I
Not
suppose
helping
that
anyone, unless they are trying to hurt you.
thank you. I guess that the triangle formation. I've got the vest, and like, she's like strapping it on. It's very heavy. This is a very awkward, slow process, but because it's a lot to like lift over your head. And it's strapping it on. Is like, okay, that's a little heavy. Nothing makes you feel like you're gonna get shot at like putting a bulletproof vest on. So I suppose if I take the middle and you have a gun on one flank and you have a gun on the other flank, and maybe we should go move like that. And I have a med kit, and I put it in the satchel, and I'm gonna have the satchel be like slightly behind me so that it's protected. I'd be like, okay, and I've got my baton. It's like, I guess
It's just in the front with the baton. Okay.
like a baseball bat,
Yeah.
just holding it very like firmly. The batons are like this. I have one over there. I just don't think I should show it on webcam. But like they are like at least this long. So it's very thick at the bottom and like kind of tapered towards the end. Is like holding it. It's made of metal and it's quite heavy.
Lovely. Okay, for just a little bit of bookkeeping,
Mhm.
the medkit takes up a single inventory slot.
Yeah.
The armored vest, the combat vest, takes up one slot as well. That gives you 1 point of armor. You can
Cool.
note that in your sheet.
Yeah.
The tactical shotgun, it is bulky, so it takes up 2 inventory slots. You need 2 hands to hold it. You have, so it deals D8 damage. You can note that. This is, so combat, or shotguns, what they do is, it's called blast damage, typically, where you do damage over a scattered point. The combat shotgun is shooting slugs. You still have a short distance, but it deals a little bit more damage, and these are single target. So you, like I said, it's a D8 damage, it's one target, and you have a narrative cutoff point that you're not shooting infinitely with this thing. You're only getting so far with it. We don't really track inventory in terms of like shells or bullets in this case. You do have a dozen shells. Keep in mind, there might be a narratively opportunistic moment where you run out of ammo because you only have so much. And the same thing with that revolver. That revolver has technically 6 shots, but so make note of it. But we're not going to dwell on that unless it's important.
Okay.
Okay. With that being said, you guys lock and load.
And we are now
Adjusting
in
your new
formation.
equipment. Triangle formation.
This is so strange. I don't even remember why I came here, and now we look like we're in a zombie movie.
Funny enough, I don't know why I came here either. It was, again, just kind of like gut feeling. I was like, I've never seen that building before. I should probably check it out. This is a bad case of curiosity for all of us, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, you got lured here, technically, Xavier.
Yeah. But whoever called me sounded like they needed to get this information out there. They couldn't tell me what it was. They said to meet them somewhere. And next thing you know, I'm heading here.
Weird. Well, we're here now.
Yeah.
Was it a private number that called you? Did you get any kind of caller ID off of it, anything like that?
I got a name, Kevin Johnson. He claimed to work for some government agency or something. Talk of corruption. All I was thinking was the story, to be honest.
Kevin Johnson. Sounds...
That name. Any more paperwork?
No, he sounded serious. I if I ever heard something like that, I would normally just hang up the phone. But there was something about the way he spoke that told me he was serious. So I believe him. So I'm here.
Just sounds like such a nondescript name, you know, like John Doe or Smith. Kevin.
Maybe
I don't know a serious Kevin.
Deep Throat broke the entire water grate wide open, and he went by Deep Throat. So maybe this was my chance to have a person. Mine is Kevin Johnson.
This was. Anyway, it's just like there was a very obvious joke to go for that, like Vito was like, "Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!" Anyway, we should get going. But like is scribbling the joke down in like her notes for the book because it was a good line, but don't say that.
Okay. Pushing forward, triangle formation, leaving this room behind. Actually, before we leave, is there anything else you guys do here?
Okay. I closed the door.
Resounding like click as the door closes shut. Now, again, you find yourselves in that hallway. Behind you, the rooms you've entered, meeting rooms, supply room, and looking down, you know, we were looking in a, again, cardinal eastern direction. All the way at the end, the doorway. However, before you get to that point, doors on the left and right. Technically, the closest one is the one on the left. The one on the right is clearly like a larger set of doors, probably double doors in this case. Maybe it's got a bar on it, and you can kind of see it from here. There's an emergency light that's sitting directly above that, kind of like showing down. And just beyond those two doorways, there appears to be a staircase that kind of cuts off, and that's before the end of the hall.
Well, going left hasn't really gone very well for us, so maybe we should go right. And it has like, and it's bigger, so maybe that means that there'll be windows.
I also look at that path to the left. It's carpeted, right?
So the hallways are carpeted, and leading up to the doorways, kind of directly along the hallways. The staircase that kind of like cuts off, that's probably carpeted as well. I'd say, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I don't know. I wonder if there's anything over here. But you're right. Maybe these double doors lead somewhere. I guess I'm just afraid to go in there after. This is a very oppressive feeling, everything that's happening right here, right now.
Well, you weren't as armed, at least I didn't know you were as armed now as you were then.
I just thought I was going to sell something and be able to say, hey, I found this thing inside this government office, and it would be part of the story.
You certainly found some things in a government office. I mean, we're in it now, and honestly, I can't think of anything more dangerous than sitting around, waiting for whatever killed them to, you know. So going on is probably the best way for us to get out at all. Yep. And it's definitely the only way to get your story out.
That's true. You're right. All right. You want to go through these double doors then?
This better be a bestseller. Yeah. So because I'm in the middle, we'll push open the double doors.
Pushing forward. Again, these are, you previously seen wooden doors with L-shaped handles. These are probably steel doors or some sort of metal, maybe like fire doors, like that type of thickness. They've got that nice push bar in this case, so it's not a handle. So you're able to push in. How do you enter? You kick the door down? Do you?
No, I just push it open.
Okay. And again, it takes a little bit of a heft.
If I kicked that door, I'd break my foot.
Okay. And you reveal the room behind you. This is a large room. This is like bigger than the lobby that you guys entered in. This is the biggest room you've seen so far. Big enough to the point where you question whether or not it would fit within the building it's in. Now, ceilings 30, 40, 50 feet high.
Oh.
Before you, you see rows and rows of cubicles arranged in a grid. At least 200 of them.
No.
In the center of these cubicles, the pathways sort of lead into like the dead center of the room, where there is this. It's an office. It's elevated slightly above, glass walled on the outside. It looks like a nice office. It's spire-like in nature again, so it's sitting up above, so it can look down upon the cubicles. There's a dull red light just emanating from that central point, almost like an emergency light from that within the glass walls of that office. Now, the only other light in here besides that, as it's pitch black. On the far side of the room, see close to the back wall, what would be again cardinal south and the southeast, in this case, are a set of lights. Emergency lights. These ones are a little brighter in nature than some of the ones you've seen previously. One of them, and you can catch the glimpse of this over the top of the cubes, is like it's shining down upon the characteristic metal frame of an elevator. So staring upon this cube farm, what do you guys do?
Does anyone else get a really weird feeling about that red light up there?
Oh, this is way too big to be where we are.
There could literally be anything in this room. I think sticking together in formation is now of utmost importance. Before, great idea. Now, necessity.
Yes. Maybe we should stick to the walls as well to keep our backs better covered instead of just diving into the middle where something can attack us from any side.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Let's be very careful. I get the feeling that whatever's here, I don't know. If something's here, I don't know, but that red light is creeping me the hell out.
This room should be jutting out of the building, but it's not. I remember what it looks like from the outside. It was smooth. There was no modern architecture, no protruding elements. This doesn't make any sense.
Maybe there are hidden rooms attached to it, maybe smoothing it out from the surface. Perhaps Yulia will knock on the walls and see what they sound like. If they sound like they're made of like brick and cinder block, or if they sound like hollow or
solid concrete, like concrete blocks type of deal. It's cold to the touch.
It's everything is made of concrete, cement. Here, keep an eye out though, because I think you're right. I don't remember seeing anything protruding, and the physics don't make sense in my head.
Guess let's stick to the wall, and I'm gonna start kind of just moving to the side, which is I guess my left. Just gonna start leading us through by sticking to the wall away from the center of the cubicles.
Okay.
And just kind of like glance as I can at the cubicles that are like closest to us, like around the edge that we're like passing by.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are starting to skirt along the wall, and again, you look into those cubicles, and as you pass them, they look relatively identical. Same office chair, the same computer. Some minor differences in the way things are shifted, maybe stuff that's tacked up to the walls of the cubes. Varies, stationary, and so on and so forth, but they're not terribly expressive, all things considered. They're very plain, even with the additional stuff that's sort of added on.
Are any of the computers on?
Not that you can see. The screens do not light up. Like I said, the room is dark. But you can go in there if you want and try it out.
I'm just keeping, like, as we move through this room, I'm watching that room with the red emanating light. That is, it's weird. Why is that light so different from everything else around it? I don't like it.
Okay.
Hey, can you guys cover me? Oh no, go ahead.
Yulia has her gun pulled and drawn, and she's also got the camera with the flashlight, kind of like ducked it like a cop. She You'll notice that the gun she's using is not the shotgun. She also seems to have like a smaller gun, which I believe, yeah, it's a palm pistol that she has pulled out with this light. And she says, if either one of you want to go explore active things, you both look very curious looking at things right now, I will absolutely cover you.
Okay. I'm
And
just, it's just because the computer, I was thinking maybe if we could turn one on, we could see what this building even is, and maybe there was like, you know, the floor plans in it somewhere, or the evacuation routes, or any of the standardized things to get out of here.
Yeah, I'll look in the cubicle on the other side and see if I can find maybe the same kinds of things.
okay, so the first one we'll deal with is here. So you're going for the computer?
Yeah, the closest, just like closest
Okay.
to the wall.
As you're able to kind of like head into the cube itself, again, fairly nondescript chair, desk effects. Click the mouse, screen lights up, and it's just like searing white light in this darkness that kind of like comes out of this monitor. Not quite flashbang levels, but sorry, I froze up.
Yep.
It's not quite flashbang levels, but it's irritating to the eye as you kind of look on it. And you see a screen. It's like the Windows login screen type of thing with this seal that's like embossed into the center. Not embossed because it's a computer screen, but with a little like login code underneath it. The seal itself, circular in nature. It's got a inverted pyramid set in the center. You see like an eye, like a depiction of it. It's a vector art eye staring at you from that screen from within the inverted pyramid.
Are there any files?
It's locked at the moment.
It's just locked. It's just locked, right?
Yeah. So there's a little like login name, and it's probably, I don't know, like some initial, some last name, and then like a line underneath where you'd presumably type a password.
Ooh. Okay. Very cool. Buda is like muttering. You can hear it. It's not like a secret. It's just, it's not at anybody. And it's just like, well, your average person doesn't reset things from company passwords, and they tend to keep them either saved on the computer or written nearby. So, it's the same with safes, actually. People almost never reset them, and safes come with a very set amount of codes that never get changed, and they have to be standardized because locksmiths have to be able to get into them. It's actually very similar with computers, even though the mechanism is totally different. And so I'm going to start sifting through notes and papers that are near the computer.
Okay. So this is what I like to use what's called the luck roll for. It's not something that's inherent to liminal horror. It's something I like to do. Folks tend to call it other things, like the Die of Fate is another good one. In this case, we said we're doing a luck roll. So all you need to do is roll a d6. We're looking for low numbers.
Right. Oh. Well, I rolled a 6.
A 6, okay. So you're not very
Bad
lucky.
luck numbers.
As you push around, this person, whoever it was, seems to have been efficient with their passwords and is not on the sticky note stuck to the monitor.
Let's see. Do I see how many, like, how long the password has to be?
No, it's just like a bar to enter.
No, I mean, like, if I press like B, does it cut me off at some point, or does it keep going?
Like 30 characters. It's a ways.
Christ.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So as Bure is sort of dealing with that, we head over to Xavier real quick.
Yep.
So you're just sifting around.
I'm sifting around.
Okay. How about you give me a D100 roll, please?
A D100. All right. Let's go. This. 62.
62. As you leaf through the desk, you open a drawer. You see pamphlets. You pull them out, and they're printouts of conspiracy internet forums. And you leaf through them real quickly. They deal with anything from ancient aliens to cryptids to cosmic Bigfoot. Now, if you want to keep those, you can look them on your
Oh,
inventory sheet.
I will. He's definitely a person who reads those conspiracy sites. Even
It's all
though
like-
he doesn't believe them, he's
Yeah.
looking for the truth within them.
It's blurry photographs, and it's clearly like somebody screen grabbed a website and printed
Yeah.
it out and put it in there. However, as Bire and Xavier are searching through desks, Yulia, you're covering them. Where are you standing?
If she could find a little spot, like kind of where, almost like a little cubby corner, like if there's like a place with like a little divot in the wall, so she's got like kind of her back is kind of faced, and she's just kind of like scanning the room. If not, then she's just got her back straight to the flat wall doing the same.
As you watch, as Bire lights up the screen, and you hear Xavier kind of shuffling around in the desks, you see the light shift, that red light within that office at the center. Various pieces of office stuff, potted plants, desks, so on. The light kind of shifts and moves with them. And in the shadow set against it, you see a person. You slowly lock the light following them. You push open this office door, leading to a small, like, balcony type area, and then steps that ascend around the spire itself to the base floor. As they step out, you see a man. Some of the details are hard to make, but you do see, like, clean, cropped hair, a very impeccable gray suit, juxtaposed against it, piercing red eyes, with which the light itself seems to emanate.
She will keep her gun trained on him, and she will, almost like she's calling a cat, but to the others, just like a strange series of throat clears and grunts to the others.
Okay. What's... Oh.
And as Yulia makes that sound, you see the eyes shift, and it's almost like spotlights coming out of them. You see this glow of red cascade up the floor and shoot up and head in your direction. Before we end our first session, Yulia, what do you do?
Whoever's closer, whether it's B-Ray or Xavier, should I shoot it?
Xavier sees these eyes and this light, and he has been creeped out for some reason of this red light just in general. He's like, no, stay hidden. And he like kind of like gestures for her to enter into the cubicle, like out of the way, because he's about, like, he's looking towards where that sound came from, right?
Presumably.
Yeah. It's up to you whether you want to come this way or shoot him.
Is there like a cubicle that I see that's close enough to me, but also like I can still see like both of them at the same time to like make sure that if anything goes for them, I still have a semi-clear shot?
You can try and duck into one. I do need a dexterity save from you.
All right. And that's a D20?
You'll be looking for D20 equal to or under your current dexterity score.
All right. I got a 2 in my dex.
Lovely. Okay, so what we'll do, because we're at the end of our time here. Yulia, you kind of jump forward, then, I don't know, barrel dive, somersault into the cubicle just as the eyes pass over. They don't hit you directly, those beams of light. But it's as if you can feel this invasiveness just swipe up. And as the three of you huddle in your respective cubicles, we're going to pick up here next week. Now, before we go, if we could just go back around the table, please reintroduce yourself, say who you are, where we can find you.
Reverse order or?
Oh boy, I don't remember the name. Same order.
Same order.
Same order? Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Brandy Rose. I've been playing Bire. My pronouns are they, them, hers, are, she, they. And I'm very, very excited to see what our next episode is and how we deal with this really, really creepy creature. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the Brandy Rose, on Instagram at Brandy Rose Official, and on Twitch and TikTok as Cutest Patoot. I'm a producer, I'm an actor, I'm a model, I do all the things, I make all the things. You can pay me to do pretty much anything at this point here in entertainment. And you should, which means that my DMs are also always open. I have the business emails also available on my site, which is brandyrose.carrd.co. I also currently have a GoFundMe up, which I'm sure the link will probably be in the description to the video under my credits, etc. So I have a GoFundMe that is currently lovingly being fundraised by several of my wonderful streamer friends, as well as myself. So if you can spare a bit, please go check it out. But yeah, you can always keep up with all of my projects and all of the things that I do and all the shows that I'm on my Twitter.
Hi, I'm Megan McCulley. You can find me just by doing the quick search on any of the socials for Megan McCulley, and I am the only crazy redhead that you will see pop up. Yeah, lots of stuff in film, music, streaming. My streaming schedule is a little crazy. I do a lot of one-shots and things like that, so the best way is to just kind of keep track on socials. I am on a couple of different campaign streams going on right now. There's this, I have a D&D game, and I believe we're finishing up a Marvel RPG on a couple of different places. I have new music coming out soon, and I am also currently running a sale on games. So if you would like me as your DM, if you are a forever DM and you finally just want to play a game, hit me up and we can arrange something there. It has been a pleasure playing with you all tonight, and see you next week.
Hey everybody, I'm Randy Alvarenga, TTRPG streamer, actor. I'm in, like you, in a lot of one-shots a lot of the time, but also have a few campaigns that you can check out. You can follow them all at Twitter. So that's Roller Raja, ROLLERRAJA, to find out some of those projects, which are like, we're doing a Pathfinder 2E game over on Wednesdays. I'm playing a Savage Worlds campaign that is on break right now, but season 3 will be coming out soon. It's a horror game like this, so there's lots of fun there. And yeah, I do a lot of things, and it's hard because right now it's kind of like the dying down period. But if you want me in your game, message me, and we can figure that out. Yeah, and like you said, it's been an absolute pleasure. This is my first time getting to play with Megan, and I've played with Brandy before, and I love this. This is great. So,
okay, and finally, I am Josh Domansky, your game master. Outside of this, I am a tabletop RPG adventure writer, and I do some layout and design work. The most noteworthy thing is the module that we're playing right now. Ooh, I made this look pretty. Oh. You can find me on Twitter at unenthuser. That's unenthusiastic user smashed into one word. I also release solo digital stuff on itch.io/unenthuser, and that's a lot of like one-page dungeons and all that stuff to plug into your various games. Outside of the Bureau, I have also worked with the Afterthought Committee to release 2 Level 0 Funnel adventures that you can purchase now through Exalted Funeral and the Afterthought Committee itch.io page. I also take work, so hire me. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in tonight. We'll be back next week to continue our journey and introduce our 4th cast member.